Indonesian hikers don't play games. So for you to act like they don't have the skill set and in this country they can do this and in this country they can do that, then you don't know Indonesian hikers.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bertemu kembali bersama kami channel Bukti CJDW. Kali ini kita tetap akan bahas masalah kejadian di Gunung Rinjani, akan tetapi berbeda dari yang kemarin. Kita akan bahas masalah reaksi netizen. Langsung aja kita saksikan.
Seeing that a Brazilian tourist has fallen off Mount Rinjani at like 5 a.m. and honestly the news has like sent shivers down my spine because me and Gaz did that hike. I think it was summer last year.
Mental, wasn't it? It was like next level dangerous. I swear there was like hundreds of people doing it, and like we turned around because we didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
Loads of people were like, what are you doing? Just keep going. And it was like so windy on
It was
top of
so
the ridge.
cold. It was like the coldest. I felt like I couldn't.
Nah, ini berarti dia naik Gunung Rinjani sebelum kejadian itu ya kayaknya dia. Makanya bisa nyeritain dia. Sepertinya begitu.
Straight because I was so cold. Obviously the altitude, like no one even talks about altitude sickness with that hike. You're so high up, it's like 3,500 meters above sea level. Like the altitude, the cold, you've already hiked what 7 hours the day before and you get up at 1 a.m. to do the summit hike, which is another 4 hours up a steep incline in the dark. No one's thinking clearly.
I think if you're a professional climber, you're probably listening to this and be like, oh yeah, that's normal. It is normal for professional climbers, but this was essentially just like a load of backpackers and tourists wearing trainers doing it.
Yeah, and I think like when we did it, we were like, why is there not more information out there saying like how hard it is? Because all you ever see online is just.
Jadi kalau menurut tulis ini, dia juga sedikit memberikan masukan sebenarnya, kritikan masukan dengan kondisi Gunung Rinjani yang NPWL-nya itu sekitar 3.700. harusnya informasi mengenai Gunung Rinjani harusnya sudah lengkap. Jadi orang-orang yang mau naik ke atas itu sudah ada persiapan matang apa yang harus dibawa, mental fisiknya gimana. Ini kan sedikit agak kayak mengeluhkan akhirnya dia kan.
Ya harusnya setiap pendaki pasti udah tahu lah.
Tapi kan nggak semuanya pendaki bukan profesional. Ini saya termasuk, dia bilang bukan pro.
Bukan pro, tapi kan cari informasi di internet bisa sekarang.
Nah itu yang dikeluhkan kan. Jadi mungkin kurang lengkap. Kalau mungkin yang di internet yang beredar kan cuman masalah ketinggian, jadi trek yang berbahaya, spot-spot yang berbahaya mungkin kurang dieksplor, maksudnya di.
Ya dia sendiri aja mungkin yang kurang nyari informasi.
These people summiting Mount Rinjani. So when we watched all of these videos on YouTube and we did our research, we were like, they look like us, we'll give it a go. And then obviously it puts your life at risk when you do stuff like that because you don't realise how dangerous it is. There should be more.
To show though, if when you're backpacking, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, just turn around and don't do it because the safety's not always there, is it?
No, it's just so scary. I feel like, I just really hope she's found safe and my thoughts with her family, because when I saw that I just felt sick. I just knew exactly what it would be like to fall down. Just a horrible news story. And if you're watching this and thinking about doing Mount Rinjani, only if you're an experienced climber should you be doing it, really. Like, don't do what we did and think, how hard can it be? Just take the risks into account and
For days, my entire For You page has been about the tragedy that happened on Rinjani and the woman from Brazil, Juliana, who passed away because she fell into, I believe, the crater, or where all of the sand is on the top, all of the volcanic sand. And she wasn't able to be retrieved, and there's a lot of blame being put on the rescue team without considering the circumstances of Rinjani and the terrain and the difficulty of completing a rescue mission on an active volcano. and how nearly impossible that can be. Combined with her clear lack of hiking skill, and this is by no means to disrespect her, it's really, really crucial as a tourist that if you choose to do a hike, even if people complain the tour guides all they want, and they say, oh, but everywhere in Lombok and everywhere in Indonesia, you see advertisements, hike Rinjani, hike Rinjani, hike Rinjani. But it's your job to research things yourself. They don't know you. They don't know your life experience. They don't know your skill level. Could they be asking more questions to better vet people to decide if they should be allowed to go up Rinjani? Sure. Absolutely. But you shouldn't hike an active volcano if you're not an experienced hiker. I've lived in Indo for 6 years. I've been invited by people to hike Rinjani many times. I won't do it because I'm not a hiker. I struggle going up to a small peak. I don't really enjoy hiking. It's not something I've tried to excel at and succeed with in my life. And when I saw how slippery it is towards the peak of Rinjani due to the sand, I know myself and I know how clumsy I am, and I know I would roll down that shit and you would never find me again. And that's just reality. So yes, there does need to be probably a regulation change in who is allowed to hike these places. But what happened to individual responsibility for our own choices and actions, and also recognizing risk? Because most of the time, if you do any high risk activity anywhere in the world, especially in the Western world, if that's what we're talking about, Western standards, you're going to have to sign something that says that they're not responsible for your life. You are. You are responsible for your life. And people saying, well, she was left behind and this, that. If you're choosing to hike in a group, because there's probably an option to get a private guide for a higher price point or to get a group guide, right? If you know that you are not an experienced hiker and you really want to go up Rinjani, then you should probably hire a private guide and not join a hiking group of people who probably have a pretty decent level of hiking experience and are able to complete the summit. If you hire a private guide and you need to take a rest, your guide can stand by you. But what is the guide supposed to do if they have, let's say, a group of 5 or 10 people and one person isn't feeling well? You either have to push through and stick with the group or you get left behind. And I know they say you're not supposed to leave anybody behind on a hike, but you're also not supposed to hike if you're not prepared to hike. That's just how hiking works. I saw that her family was they were shocked that Rinjani wasn't closed down because of their daughter's passing. And while I have so much respect for their grief and what they're probably experiencing and the shock they're going through right now, that's unfair to close an entire mountain down because of one person's irresponsibility. That's not fair. That's people's livelihood. And it's a beautiful place that a lot of people come to Indonesia just for that.
Nah, ini dia juga menyayangkan tuntutan dari keluarganya untuk menutup Gunung Rinjani sementara. Dia kan berpendapat bahwa nggak semudah itu menutup Gunung Rinjani, kan sudah menjadi
ini
mata pencarian.
Berpikiran bijaksana dia.
And now maybe they've trained for it for a really long time. Maybe they spend a long time summiting smaller peaks to prepare for that hike. And now they're supposed to close it down because of one person's irresponsibility. And once again, I don't want to disrespect her in any way, but we need to use this opportunity to really take a moment to anywhere in the world and any activity that you're doing when you're on holiday, consider your skill level. I see it all the time with surfing. My partner has a surf school here in Bali, and he's very, very, very adamant that if people don't have a high skill level in swimming, or if they have fears around the ocean, they need to book a private lesson. Because people will want to be cheap and save $200K and book a group, and then they're miserable and they can't get back to the lineup and they're flapping around and freaking out. Is that the coach's fault? No, it's your fault for being cheap. Active volcanoes are not photo ops. In general, there was an instance just a few months back. I think it was Agung. Somebody died on Agung because they tried to go up without a guide, probably trying to save money, and they died. And then Balinese people had to have so much ceremony, bring so much bantan, do so many offerings because somebody irresponsibly died on their sacred mountain. Accountability matters. It's extremely cloudy up there. If we're coming back to Rinjani, to cycle back to it one more time, it's extremely cloudy, very hard to send helicopters in. Nobody can go down that to retrieve somebody. If they send a rope down, there's no way for them to grip in because they're on sand. There are so many circumstances. So to repetitively disrespect the extremely skilled team that tried to rescue her is not necessary to honor her life. We mustn't blame people who have trained their entire lives for this. Indonesian hikers don't play games. So for you to act like they don't have the skill set and in this country they can do this and in this country they can do that, then you don't know Indonesian hikers. They are extremely good at their craft and they're very, 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 very skilled at mountaineering. I mean, Indonesian hikers will hike in flip-flops and live off of pot meat. And not to say that that's the way that you should hike, but I'm saying don't act like they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Apa dari kemarin ku bilang rasa kemanusiaan, saya ada orang jatuh saya tolong, kemudian ini persoalan negara juga kan dan NKRI yang melihat orang-orang netizen serang negara Indonesia, saya tergugah untuk itu. Yang sebut saya pahlawan orang Brasil, saya cuma mau bilang terima kasih sama orang-orang Brasil. Tapi cuma ini yang bisa kami lakukan untuk penyelamatan Juliana.
Suasana haru mewarnai pemakaman Juliana Marins, pendaki asal Brasil yang tewas setelah terjatuh dari tebing di Gunung Rinjani, Lombok, Nusa Tenggara Barat. Jenazahnya dimakamkan di kampung halaman Niterói, Brasil pada Jumat 4 Juli 2025 setelah perjalanan panjang dari Indonesia. Ratusan orang hadir di pemakaman untuk mengiringi kepulangan terakhir Juliana Marins pada Jumat pagi waktu setempat. Keluarga, kerabat, dan teman-teman terlihat berduka di sekitar peti mati, dengan beberapa di antaranya membawa poster bergambar wajah Juliana. Sang ayah Manuel Marins menyampaikan kesedihan mendalam dan menyalahkan otoritas Indonesia atas kematian putrinya. Dalam pernyataannya, Manuel mengatakan ia pergi untuk membawa putrinya pulang hidup-hidup, namun yang terjadi justru sebaliknya. Ia menyebut insiden ini sebagai bukti dari kelalaian dan lemahnya pelayanan publik di negara wisata seperti Indonesia.
O caso trata-se de despreparo, trata-se de descaso com a vida humana, trata-se de negligência, trata-se de precariedade dos serviços daquele país. Infelizmente, é um país turístico, um destino turístico mundialmente conhecido, um país que depende do turismo para sobreviver e que deveria ter mais estrutura.
Juliana Marins jatuh sejauh 600 meter dari tebing saat mendaki Gunung Rinjani bersama seorang pemandu dan 5 turis asing lainnya pada 21 Juni 2025. Tim penyelamat Indonesia baru berhasil menemukan jenazahnya 4 hari kemudian setelah penelusuran intensif dengan bantuan drone thermal. Proses evakuasi membutuhkan waktu 5 jam lebih, terhalang medan curam dan kabut tebal. Jenazah Juliana baru dipulangkan ke Brasil pada Selasa 1 Juli 2025. Setibanya di Rio de Janeiro, keluarganya langsung melakukan otopsi ulang untuk mengetahui penyebab kematian secara detail. Kantor Pembela Hukum Federal atau DPU Brasil telah meminta kepolisian federal untuk menyelidiki dugaan kelalaian oleh otoritas Indonesia dalam kasus kematian Juliana Marins. Jika ditemukan pelanggaran, Brasil tak menutup kemungkinan akan membawa kasus ini ke forum internasional seperti Komisi Antar Amerika untuk Hak Asasi Manusia atau IACHR.
Menuntut apanya ini?
Ya lewat duta besar mungkin kayaknya ini. Jadi pemerintahan Brasil itu kayaknya nge-push pemerintahan kita untuk usut tuntas masalah kejadian ini dikarenakan kelalaian dari otoritas setempat. Jadi setelah diotopsi, pemerintah Brasil kayaknya nge-push pemerintah Indonesia untuk mengusut tuntas kronologi kejadian kok bisa sampai seperti itu. Kalau menurut saya sih ya mungkin yang jadi pertanyaan kayak kita sendiri, kalau ada keluarga seperti ini kok bisa sampai 4 hari 5 hari itu kecuali jatuh jret nggak ada yang tahu. Nah itu mungkin pihak keluarga masih bisa menerima lah. Memang kecelakaan Bule ini kan jatuh sempat di drone hidup. Nah itu yang mungkin menjadikan pihak keluarga agak
tanda tanya.
Ini kok cara penanganannya gimana kok sampai berhari-hari meskipun kabut, masa tiap saat kabut.
I really don't want to die today, so please help me.
Warga negara Irlandia, Paul Farrell, punya pengalaman mirip dengan turis Brasil Juliana Marins di Gunung Rinjani. Pada Oktober 2024, Farrell jatuh dari trek ke jurang sedalam 200 meter di lereng Rinjani. Dia bertahan hidup dan hanya menderita luka-luka ringan. BBC News Brasil berbincang dengan Farrell tentang pengalamannya jatuh hingga diselamatkan.
We woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning. We started from base camp. We camped out the night before. We got to the top. It was quite difficult, actually. It was kind of it was a different kind of a hike because it's on a volcano, you know. You take one step forward, 2 steps back. You very much sink into the ground, so the terrain is quite challenging. That was fine. Everything was good. Everything was running smoothly. My shoe, it filled up with like little pebbles, so it was quite uncomfortable for me. I decided to take off my shoe, and in doing so I took off my glove to maneuver my shoe a bit better. The wind whipped my glove to the side of the volcano, and I kind of knelt down to go get it. Then the ground just completely crumbled beneath me because it's different kind of terrain, you know. And then I just straight into emergency mode, just boom, like I'm picking up speed, adrenaline's pumping. I realized quite quickly that, okay, I could die here like very soon. It wasn't a vertical drop, you know, it was inclined. So obviously I was trying to dig my nails in, dig my hands in so I could stop my momentum. I made a beeline for a massive rock, like a boulder. That stopped me from falling so much or so quickly, but I was still very much in the danger zone because the ground, as I mentioned, you'll keep sliding and slipping, if you get what I'm saying. I summited the mountain with a French girl who was in our group, and me and her were on the way back down. When I hit that boulder, I shouted at her at the top of my lungs, like, go, get help, go, go, go. So she ran down to base camp. So she notified the people down there that there was a serious situation going on. Just praying to God that I got out of it alive, or at least with like only a few broken bones and intact. I would have taken a broken arm, a broken leg, or all my bones broken. I would have taken that. If I had to make a deal with the devil, I would have said, yeah, break all my bones and get me out of this alive, if you know what I'm saying. Before the actual, like, our rescue team came to rescue me, there was just a group of tour guides who tried to, like, make their own rope out of their clothing. They got it down to me. I grabbed a hold of it. They said, do this. They do this. And in the current state I was in, I wasn't thinking too much, and I wasn't thinking that critically about it. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. So I grabbed onto it, put pressure on it, and yeah, the thing snapped. So if I had left my little rock, my little perch that I was on, that was providing me with safety, if I had moved any further, then I would have been gone. I was saved twice. I almost died twice. The predominant emotion would have been just absolute relief. So thankful, so energized. I love adrenaline. I love adrenaline sports. This one was a bit too close to the bone, but I mean, these situations really make me appreciate life. And it's a poor country, they don't have that many resources, you know, and it's not like you're paying a big fee to get up there, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to say, look, they should spend more of their money to provide more security and more safety, but at the same time there's probably too many people who are having these incidents up there, so maybe something has to happen. Provide extra guides. I mean, she stayed back behind in the group, I believe that's what happened, because she was feeling unwell. Maybe they need an extra guide to stay behind with anyone who gets sick.
Karena itulah, seorang porter wajib memiliki stamina dan kekuatan berkali lipat dari pendaki biasa. Otot kaki mereka harus terlatih mendaki sekaligus membawa beban seberat 25 kg yang dipikul selama pendakian. Mereka pun tak bisa beristirahat lebih lama karena harus menyiapkan semuanya sebelum pendaki tiba di pos peristirahatan. Dari menyiapkan tenda dan memasak, semua menjadi tugas porter.
Jadi mau tidak mau harus tenda udah siap, jadi peserta itu boleh istirahat gitu. Sebelum dia jadi tenda, jadi kita harus bangun kayak playset gitu, tempat mereka berteduh sebelum tendanya jadi gitu. Atau kalau enggak, kita harus numpang berteduh di tenda yang sudah jadi di teman-teman yang lain seperti itu.
Ya, kita sebagai warga negara Indonesia yang pertama juga turut berbelasungkawa, semoga arwah Juliana Marins diterima di sisi Tuhan, dan untuk kejadian ini juga bisa menjadi pelajaran buat kita ke depannya, bagi kita semua, apa yang harus kita lakukan sebagai masyarakat, sebagai pecinta alam, terutama juga untuk pemerintah Indonesia, apa yang harus dilakukan agar lebih menjamin kedepannya bagi para wisatawan, terutama untuk tempat wisata yang ekstrim seperti gunung. Semoga kedepannya bisa menjadi baik lagi buat semuanya. Bertemu kembali di berita-berita selanjutnya, masih bersama kita channel Bukti CJDW.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.